And at this juncture, I want us to sing him a birthday song. And it will go this way. It's quite simple. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. 1, 2, go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
We wish you many happy returns.
Thank you.
Of that day. Long life and prosperity.
Hooray!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hooray!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hooray!
Now, we come to the question and answer session, and this is going to be a very short one. So the first question, which is coming from me, is for Prof to avail us his secret of longevity. To be 90 is remarkable. And to be 90 without a walking stick, most times he walks around without using glasses. And he's still so full of life, he travels all the time. If you call him 5 times, 3 out of 5, he will tell you, I'm at Heathrow, I'm at Schiphol Airport, I will be on my way to Abu Dhabi tomorrow and all that. And I wonder, at this age, how does he do it? So we need to hear from the horse's mouth.
All right. If I use the word Ajesara, I think you'll understand. Yoruba speaking people. However, Ajesara is something which is partly mythical, to tell you the truth. I think it's just an expression for conceding that you are lucky. That maybe straight from childhood, you must have accidentally eaten something or swallowed something when the adults were not looking. And that thing has stayed in your digestive system all this while, affecting all your various functioning organs and even non-functioning. No other explanation. Luck. Luck. That's all.
And I think it's all the more remarkable. There was a time you granted a press conference that cancer is not a death sentence. And you had it according to you, and you overcame it. And I think maybe luck is the right word for the whole phenomenon.
I'm in Nigeria. Nigeria was still, we're just out of independence and we're just trying to be a great nation. So, I mean, for you to come out globally, what was the focus? What was the drive? I mean, it's a rare honor.
Well, the part that was missing was that you are, you really had not much of heroes to look up to locally. As at the time we got independence, when you were acquiring your learning and all that, and then for you to emerge there some 2 decades plus later, a Nobel laureate. That's our question. Now, what is the drive? Yes. What is the focus?
Okay. All right. Let me put it this way, that I put it down to simply loving what I do. Or you can put it the other way around, to making sure that I occupied my time, my mind, my entire passion, that I used all of that, focused all of that on the occupation that I love best, which is creative writing, literature, wrestling with ideas, even when those ideas are purely abstract, but simply because they retuned, constantly challenged the mind. Curiosity is also part of it, that I love to explore certain new experiences, new approaches, new understanding of human phenomena. In other words, that I continued just being a curious child. I was very curious, a very curious infant, problematic in that sense, and I ask questions. So all I can do is tell you what I did with my existence, how I directed my the sense of my being in various directions. I can say quite truthfully that I never thought in terms of fame. I never thought in terms of acknowledgement, recognition. No, I just did what I loved doing. And as it happened, it struck chords here and there, not really of my own doing, but that's the only explanation. It's very similar, actually, only on a different level, similar to the question I was asked earlier. What's the secret of your longevity? What's the and the very fact that this longevity continues with a seeming, at least, retention and exercise of all my faculties. Problems, physical problem here and there, in the eye, macular degeneration in one and the other. And when that happens, I just switch to other things which do not require that particular faculty. It doesn't frighten me at all. There's so much to occupy one's mind, and physically also the same thing. If I get up from this chair, for instance, and I find that I'm limping somewhat, I'll do one or two things. I'll go back and sit down and wait until I can walk without limping. And usually it works. Then it gets more serious, then I tend to it. So it's the explanation I have. That's why I use the expression luck. That my choices appear. My choices appear to have worked for me, physically, intellectually, creatively, mentally, generally. That's the only answer.
Thank you very much, Prof. We have roughly 5 more minutes, and we want to make good use of it because our allocation of your precious time is 30 minutes. And now Mani Oshugbojo is here. Ahoy, Mani. The final question to Professor Soyinka is not political, it's spiritual, it's prophetic. What is your outlook for this country, which you have fought to be a better place? You fought over the years, put your life on the line over the decades for this country to be a better place. What is your outlook for those of us that are still far away from your age? Because many of us are troubled.
Yeah. In terms of outlook, I think I've given up using words like optimism, pessimism. Let's begin from there. And into that, I've been, and for decades now, well, for 2 or 3 decades, I'm content with pragmatism. In other words, utilizing, maximizing the value of whatever you have. And that is not just material possession, material endowment, the human endowment, just maximizing what you have. We've been both lucky and singularly unlucky, unfortunate in the emergence of those whom we call leaders most of the time. But there have been some brilliant flashes of leadership here and there. And so let's just fasten on to those and ignore those whose mission in life seems to be to drag the nation back. And youth in particular must understand that they have a special responsibility not to sell out and not to be so easily co-opted, to examine very carefully issues, analyze, utilize the brain, that capacity for thinking, which every human being is endowed with. Beyond that, what can one say? difficulties, lots of difficulties ahead. But we're not the only ones. Let's take consolation there. Look at him in the United States now. Look at the kind of leadership which threatens to emerge. So let's take consolation from that, but say that we don't want to go the negative aspect of their ways. That's all.